welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smirl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smirl.
Guys.
Yes,
Guess what?
Riley.
Guess what?
What?
10 hours until I'm 16.
Ooh, that's exciting.
And by the time this episode goes up and people are listening to it, I will be 16.
So in the reality that our listeners are living in this moment, you are 16.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's more exciting for them than for you at the moment.
Yeah, it's not very exciting for me. I just got really excited that I remembered I'm not really 16, so.
Wow.
In case anyone was wondering, my birthday is August 30th. Just, if you're listening to this in the future. It's not my birthday every day that everyone listens to it. It's just my birthday on this one singular day.
Riley likes to publicize the date of her birthday as often as possible on the off chance that she'll get more presents.
No, I thought about it. It's like when you're listening to this, I'll be turning 16 on that day. But then, what if someone listens to it, 2 months from now? And they're like, huh, I didn't know today was Riley's birthday. Let me. Oh, wait, no, maybe I shouldn't say that because they just sent me presents.
Hey, Rilo.
Huh?
I think people can figure that out. That if a podcast was published 2 months ago and it says today's my birthday.
What if they don't know it was published 2 months ago? What if they just have them downloaded or something and they're all in a queue?
I don't think you're giving people enough credit.
This is a sisterly podcast about how much we love each other as sisters, and I feel like you're judging me pretty hardcore right now.
Okay,
and it's my birthday.
No,
No, it's not.
Just virtually, not reality, not
Sydney,
real.
Everyone is listening to this right now, and they're thinking
IRL. Not.
They're thinking, why is Sydney being so mean to Riley on her birthday? It's her birthday.
I said IRL.
It's good.
Well, Riley, as you get older, you just gotta, you're not a kid anymore. You gotta toughen up. You gotta accept some criticism sometime. That comes with being 16, along with the ability to have a crappy job at the mall food court.
Wow, this is great, guys.
That's true.
Real world.
16, of course, everybody, when they think about turning 16, the first thing they think about is going to get a job. Riley, where are you going to go get a job tomorrow?
I just want to drive, Sydney. That's all I care about. That's the whole point of turning 16.
Well, I guess there's the driving thing.
Well,
That's all I care about.
How you gonna pay for that gas money, though? Think this through.
Mom and Dad said they'd give me a gas card.
Well.
So there you go.
Well, Riley is turning 16. Now, she's already had her party.
Yeah, it was a surprise party.
Yes.
Because my birthday's on a Tuesday, and the weekend after we're going to be out of town. But so the weekend before I had my party. And it was very fun.
We knew it was coming. It was not a surprise to everyone else. Just to
no
Riley.
one knew it was happening. I don't know how it all came together.
The party spontaneously generated.
Yeah. I wish that was a real weather condition. Just spontaneous party.
Everyone magically showed up to one place at one time and just driven there. And it's like, oh my God, it's a party.
It's like a musical.
Yeah.
Except instead of singing and dancing, everybody just parties.
Exactly.
I had to keep reminding. So Riley's party started by going out to dinner with her friends, and the cover story is that Justin and I were taking her out to dinner,
which didn't make any sense because one, you all didn't pick me up. You made me drive myself there.
Yes,
with Dad in the car, and also I was supposed to pay for it.
Yeah, and also in this weird story, we had put Charlie to sleep, and then we're leaving.
Yeah.
With no one there to watch her.
With Mom there to watch her.
Sleep alone.
Yeah, you said Mom was there to watch her, but Mom was still at our house when I left.
Yeah.
So, and then my favorite part was we pulled up outside the restaurant in the middle of the road, so Dad's obviously not parking. And I get out of the driver's seat and I'm going, and I'm like, are they in there? Like, you're sure? Yeah, go in. It's fine. Have fun. I was like, okay, bye.
Dad's always so great with that kind of thing.
Then I walked
being subtle and
I walked in and the guy at the front desk was like, hey, can I help you? And I was like, I think the people I'm supposed to be with are here somewhere. I was like looking around and see Sydney and Jess anywhere, and then he was like, oh, you're with the party. And I was like,
yeah.
No.
Did he at least say surprise?
No. I said, oh, you're with the party. I said, no. And he said, oh, whoever you're looking for must be back there then. So I walked back and there were all my friends. None of them really heard me coming, so they were all kind of talking. And I showed up at the front of the table.
You really hadn't figured it out.
No. I mean, I knew there was something weird going on. I walked in. I was like, oh, why is Cindy and Justin not here? And why did Dad drop me off?
How did you not figure? Because Mom had come up to us earlier in the day and said, "Now you haven't said anything to Riley about dinner, and you're supposed to be the ones taking her to dinner. So I need you to pretend like you're taking her to dinner." And so then I very obviously walked up to Riley and went, "So Rio tonight, right?" Which is like, that's how I talk.
I thought you were really excited to be with me for my birthday.
Oh, wow.
I think in any sort of a surprise scenario, there's a bit of a willed suspension of disbelief. Like, you're just kind of, like, oh, don't think too hard. Somebody's probably working on a surprise for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think on some level you must have known.
I mean, I knew something was happening, but I didn't know what.
Sure.
Because all my friends, like, after the football game on Friday night, we all hung out together, and they were like, tomorrow night, I don't have any plans, and I'm so bored. And I was like, that's a weird thing to say for something that has already happened. We're all together. One of my other friends was like, well, my parents said I could have people over and spend the night. And someone else was like, I don't think I can go. And everyone was like, yeah, I can't go. I have plans. And I was like, you all just say you didn't have plans. And they're like, oh, yeah, never mind. They said I couldn't have people over. And I was like, okay.
Did you get any presents for your 16th birthday? Like any special 16-year-old? I don't know, something like a locket with a 16 on it, or
I got a car. I got a car a few weeks ago, but I have it now.
Well,
It was like a 16th birthday present.
it's all right. I got a car.
It's a 2001 Lexus.
It's a very nice car.
It's very nice.
Yes.
It's as old as I am, but it's very nice.
Much nicer
It
than
has a tape deck.
my current car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm an adult. Riley drives a nicer car than I do.
What'd you all call it yesterday? A cool whip?
Well, that's what
A rad whip?
Travis was calling it.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term before. Have you ever heard that, Tay?
No.
A rad whip? Is that what he said?
A whip?
He was
Cool
referring
whip?
to a car as a...
Cool
Well, I don't
Whip.
think it was Cool Whip.
The go-up is delicious, but I don't see how it relates to cars.
Some sort of whip, and I have never heard that expression.
Travis, stop trying to make whip happen.
It's just a car. But she does have a tape deck, which I think is cool.
And someone who listens to the show, I actually forgot to write down all the names of people because I fell asleep before I came to record. But I will post it on the Facebook group. Sent me a thing that fits in my tape deck that has a Bluetooth connection to it, so I can make hands-free calls while I'm driving to be extra safe and listen to all my cool teen music while I am driving.
Well, we'll make a list of everyone who was
Yes.
nice enough to send you something, and
Yes.
and thank you all by name next week.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
So Riley had dinner with her friends, and then we locked you in a room, and you had to get out of it.
Yeah, except that was like on purpose.
Riley did like an escape the room thing.
There's an escape the room in Huntington now. We're moving up.
Oh, nice.
Moving
Very
up.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving up.
Did you escape?
No.
No.
And to be fair, none of my friends had ever done it before, and like they didn't really understand the concept. So we get into this room, and I'd never been in one where there are two rooms before. Like you're in the main room, and then you can't spend too much of your time on that room because then you have to open up the door to the second room, which is the room that actually gets you out of it. And we were all in there, and none of them really understood what we were supposed to be doing. So we were all just kind of laughing and following each other around looking for things. And when we got the key to open the first door, we all cheered and jumped up and down and laughed. And then we opened it up and realized it was another room full of puzzles and not a room to escape. So
I'm sorry.
that was a disappointing few minutes. But the lady came in to explain what the steps were to finish. And she said, all you had to do is type in that code you just got at like the 2-second left mark. Like we had 2 seconds left. She said, all you had to do is type in that code you just got to that computer. Once you opened up the computer, it would have given you the code to get out. So we would have needed like 10 seconds.
Now, after you didn't escape the room, you went home and had a slumber party.
Yes.
And
Which
that,
I also didn't know was happening.
that was when we followed in a proud Smirl tradition.
I think you should explain the original tradition first.
So that takes us to Taylor's 16th birthday. Taylor, how was your 16th birthday party?
Traumatizing?
Oh, you loved it.
I anytime, and I'm gonna say this before I actually tell the story. Anytime I tell this story, I get the same reaction, and that's your family either super loves you or super hates you.
We love you, obviously. That's why we did it.
It's kind of down the middle. I don't know.
Taylor has, can I just preface by saying, Taylor has always loved kind of the macabre, scary things, dark, twisty things, horror stories, horror movies, scary books. Like, you've always kind of liked that stuff. And so we thought we should celebrate that for your 16th birthday. That is what led to this plan.
Well, and at the time, I remember I was particularly obsessed with, like, Silent Hill. Like, I was really into those video games. House of Leaves. I think that book came out that year. And Poe, brother and sister duo, the musician, who was super creepy. I was definitely into, like, some creepy stuff. But, let's see, just go into it. We were gonna all go out to dinner, me and Sydney's boyfriend at the time, and a bunch of our cousins. Because that was really, like, the circle of friends that I had. It was, like, more family than anything. But leading up to that, there had been some, like, creepy stuff going on in our community. Like, there's this, like, my friends were talking about it at the lunch table. Mom and Dad were all freaked out about it. There was this place where, like, kids went to go drink and, like, kind of way out, like, in the more rural areas around us. And kids disappeared there. Like, not only had they disappeared, but their stuff was, like, reappearing in, like, like displays, like all their shoes or, like, articles of their clothing kind of, like, laid out for people to find. And of course this was equally super creepy and also, like, exciting to me because I'm a weirdo. So when we all meet up to go to dinner, I believe we were going to the Olive Garden because Year 16 deserves the Olive Garden.
That is where we're going to go to the Olive Garden. Yep.
I've arrived.
Things took a turn, not the turn you expect when you say we're going to the Olive Garden for dinner. It took a different turn.
So that's a spooky story, right? Yeah, we ended up at the Olive Garden. Oh! The breadsticks were never ending. So we went to dinner, and then I think it had been discussed beforehand, but some wacky madcap in the family brought up the idea that, hey, we should go to this place where these kids are all disappearing. It's called the Circle.
We called it the Circle.
Circle. We should go
Everyone
there.
called it the Circle, Sydney.
Everyone called it the Circle.
Well, and of course, Sydney, being the voice of reason, was like, no, that's a bad idea. That's definitely a bad idea. And like everyone's like, no, let's do it. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's definitely what I want to do. It's my birthday. That's what we're doing. So we all, like, pile into, I believe this is the rodeo, right? Yeah?
Yep.
It's like an SUV. And drive out there. And it's, like, way out there. Like, you kind of go down, like, a windy road, like, past, like, a brickyard or some stuff. Like, it's on, like, along, like, the water. And so... one kind of creepy detail that totally threw me off was that as soon as we got there, the driver, you know what I'm going to say? Sydney's at the time boyfriend vomited. Like, got really sick and puked.
He did get really sick and threw up. I'm not blaming Olive Garden for this. I don't know what happened. It may have been acid reflux. Either way, it added to the tension significantly.
Like, we were all very nervous, but then when he puked, I'm like, this is a bad omen.
And now he's sick.
So we get out. We've got, like, flashlights or whatever. We walk down this path, and it's all just, like, kind of exciting. Like, oh, we're going somewhere we're not supposed to be. I believe there's police tape, right? You guys would, like, put up some police. There'd been police tape put up over the entrance to the Circle, and so we go down the path, and then, like, kind of pretty deep in, there's a garbage bag, like, hanging in the middle of the path. And this kind of freaks everybody out. We kind of go up to it. Sydney's at the time boyfriend and one of our cousins pull it down. They open it up, and they look inside, and they're immediately like, we got to get out of here. We got to go. We got to get out of here. And, of course, I look inside, and there's, like, tennis shoes and blood in this garbage bag. So everybody freaks out. Everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, bad things. We got to go. So we turn around to like walk down the path that we came down, and facing us is a flashlight. And one of us calls out like, "Hello," and the flashlight turns off. So at that point, we just freak out and break into a run. Like everyone's just like, run to the car, run to the car, run to the car. So like running through the, like, you know, kind of off the path, like just beelining for the car. We all get back to the car. Like some of us are climbing in like the backpack, you know, trying to like pull the window down as like the car's starting up. And then like I'm one of the ones in the very back trying to like pull the glass down. And then these headlights just come on right behind us. And here's this big beat up like blue truck just roaring up from like a little like pier area right behind us. So we take off. Everybody's screaming, crying. I'm crying. This car was right on our tail. Of course, like always happens in situations, the driver's like, "I know a shortcut." So we take this shortcut that, you know, like ends, of course, in a fence. So we're cut off.
Yep.
We stopped. And like these two people jump out of this car that's behind us, like, you know, it's like right up against our bumper, and these people are running to the car and they slam signs up against the window that say, "Happy birthday, Taylor." So it was all a joke. Everything was false. The stories about the circle, they got my friends on it, so they would talk about it at school. Like, you know, it was a whole big plan just to scare the crap out of Taylor.
Yeah, we worked on that for weeks. We built up to that.
That's my favorite part, that it was such a big deal. It was like, oh yeah, of course I know about that. And then, you know, that happens.
Well, and
that's how much we love you, Tay.
the only thing, and this haunts me to this day, when we were running, like desperately making just a plea for the car, if like one of our like cousins had like fallen down or something, I would have been confronted with the very real choice of helping them or saving myself, and I would have had to know for the rest of my life what kind of person I am in that situation. I'm really glad that didn't happen, but that could have happened. And I'd like to say, well, of course I'm going to help, but I don't know, because you don't know unless you're actually in that situation. So things could have gone horribly psychologically wrong for me in that situation.
I am sorry for that, because I did not consider that. The only wrench that we ever thought would be thrown in it is, I remember when we were planning it, someone said, well, what if we bring up this place? Like, because that was our plan, is that we would talk about it a lot ahead of time, and then at dinner we'd say, hey, why don't we go there? And then everyone said, well, what if Taylor says no? And that was where
I say no.
I know. I feel like I know Taylor so well, because I went, nah, it'll be fine. Well, but what if she's too scared? No, Taylor will want to go. There is no reality in which Taylor says, maybe not. Maybe nope. She will definitely be in for this.
We listened to Poe's House of Leaves soundtrack the whole way there. It was a very good build up. But the one thing that we're failing to mention is that not everybody in the car knew what was going on. There was our young cousin. How old was she at the time? Like 12? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe
12
younger.
or 13? What was my say? Yeah. So like 12 or 13. And I guess you guys thought that she might ruin it, so you just let her go along with the ride.
I didn't know about that part.
Okay, that was not... Part of it was that we just didn't... She didn't hang out with us as much, and so she just wasn't in on the initial planning. And by the time we were all there together, there was no way to just pull her aside and be like... Psst, hey, come over here. Let me tell you this elaborate plan that we've been working on for weeks. And the other part was she was the youngest, and so we did think like, wow, but what if she lets something slip, or what if she's like giggling about it the whole time or something, because she was younger. And so we thought, well, you know, we won't tell her, it'll be fine. That was a misstep.
That's a pretty rough collateral there.
She was very scared.
She was like legit crying. Like we were in the back together. We're like, we're going to die for sure. Like good. I'm glad. Now I know what that feels like. Sureness of death.
That was like that time where my friends went and toilet papered somebody's house, and we took you along, Tay, and you got stuck there, hidden under a bush. Mm-hmm. We left you behind. We didn't mean to. We didn't know where you went. You and one of my friends were stuck hiding under a bush while the family, like the dad came running out to yell and scream at all of us.
Yeah. Well, a lot of exposure to exciting events in my young life, thanks to you, Sid.
Now, my birthday party wasn't nearly as exciting, but before I get to that, Riley, I want you to, like, what are the events at your birthday party that echo these
Um,
great historical roots.
So we got back from Escape the Room and dinner, and we all went inside, and 2 of my friends were still on their way that were at dinner and stuff with us. And Mom was like, "Why are you waiting for them to show up? Why don't you just all go outside and hang out? I set up a projector screen. You all can watch whatever you want." And I was like, "Yeah, but you told me there were some presents in my room I could open, and that there was another surprise in my room, and I'm kind of uncomfortable. Like, I'm wearing this dress all night. Like, can we go change?" And she was like, No. Go outside." And I was like, "Well, can we put on our swimsuits and get in the pool?" No. Go outside. Just chill. Do relax. Stop worrying. Go outside." And I was like, "I'm not worrying. It's just, my birthday party. Let's just all go swim." She was like, No. Sit outside."
So what happened outside?
And so we sit outside, and we're all sitting around the couch, and we're all watching something on the big screen, the projector screen, and then the light to the outside goes off that you turn on from inside. We were like, well, maybe she just wanted us to be able to see the screen better with like the light off so that it's darker. And we're like, yeah, that makes sense. We don't think anything of it. And then we hear a noise behind us, and we're like, that's weird. Maybe it's just like an animal in the woods, because we were outside right next to like all sorts of woods.
Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of deer.
Yeah, there are a lot of deer.
Here.
So I was like, maybe it's a deer, like a rabbit or something. And then the light to the inside goes off. I'm like, now that's not right, because Mom and Dad are inside and all of the lights inside are off. So I tried calling Mom. I'm like, "Why'd you turn all the lights off? Can we come inside?" And she doesn't answer. And then we hear another noise behind us, except it is very clearly footprints, 2 different sets of footprints, one on each side of the house. And then we turn around and we hear someone dragging something against our fence that we have around, like something that it sounds very similar to like a knife of sorts, is what I would assume. And then a chainsaw, and and
a chainsaw
and fast footsteps. Yes. So we all just jump up from our positions on the couch, and we go running up the stairs to my house, and the doors are locked. And when we go to open the doors, the inside house alarm, like security alarm, is going off. We can hear it through the doors on the inside.
Which Mom did this. She locked the doors and she set the alarm so this would happen.
Yeah. Like, the alarm was already set off before we got up there. So I was like, oh my God, someone's in the house. Someone's hurting Mom and Dad. That's why she didn't answer. That's why all the lights are off. Oh my God, someone's chasing after us. And this person starts like going real slow again. And all my friends are standing in this one corner. And I'm like, okay, if we stay right by the door, maybe if the door is locked, they won't get to us. And we'll hear them if they're inside. And then they won't get to us from the outside because we're all in a corner. We're up the stairs. And then someone comes running across our porch and jumps up, climbs up the side of our house. Like, climbs up where our railing is and jumps over it, and then, takes his mask off. It was one of my friends. And then the other guy comes around and takes his mask off. It was one of my friends. But I really thought I had peed my pants, which I was wearing a dress, so I didn't pee my pants. But it was a very terrifying 10 minutes.
What was scarier, the thought I'm about to die, or
I just peed my pants in front of all my friends?
I stay in front of my friends in a puddle of my own urine.
Man, see, that's
both were equally terrifying.
You don't think through what could happen, because when us as humans, when we're afraid, when we think something, stuff's getting real, a lot of stuff could happen. Like, when I was talking to Mom about this beforehand, and I was like, hopefully that'll be all right. She's like, but do you think they might try to break the glass door? I'm like, maybe. If it was me, probably. Yeah. I would have thrown a chair in that.
That's what Dad thought.
Yeah, none of my friends knew about this, and all of my friends knew about every aspect of this party except for that one. And they didn't know about that except for the 2 guy friends that executed it. And my best friend, who was the main mastermind behind this party, goes running up to the door and throws her entire body against it. And it's just like, it's okay if we break the door. This is more important, because getting inside is more important than getting out, instead of your door breaking into your door. I was like, okay, you're right, break the door, it's okay. So she's like slamming her body weight against it, beating against it, and the alarm is going off. Luckily, before we could break the door, they unmasked themselves. So,
well, that's good. And luckily you didn't like brain them,
Yeah, I was very close to hitting them. Like, when I saw them getting close, I was like, all right, this is it. I have to fight. I have to just kick them, punch them, something. I don't know. The one that has a knife is probably easier to get to than the one that has a chainsaw.
I can't believe that. I didn't know the chainsaw detail.
Now, once I saw it, I realized that it was not a fully put together chainsaw that could not have hurt anyone. But it sounds the same.
Wow.
It was
That is-
terrifying.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Well,
think-
we have a long...
No, there was definitely a wider margin for error in that situation, though.
We have a long history of psychological terror in the Smirl family, I guess is what we're saying.
Yeah. And I like that in your situation, everyone knew about it, and you all were older, right?
Yeah,
Like-
because we were all older than
Yeah,
Taylor.
and you all knew about it. But in mine, imagine 10, 15, 16-year-old girls screaming and running, and some of them are threatening to fight whoever it is, and some of them are trying to break down the door, and some of them are crying.
So what we're saying is it's 2016. We got to step things up, make
Yeah.
it more intense.
Yeah.
Which
You know.
it definitely was very
You kids
intense.
have the internet. We got to be a step ahead of that now.
Yeah.
Before we talk more about, I don't know, either turning 16 or psychological terror or both, whatever.
They
whatever
go
the case
hand in
may be.
hand, really.
Riley, why don't we talk about what's going on at the group message?
Yeah, let's go check it out. So this week we are sponsored again by a very special company. Sydney, would you like to tell us who that is?
Absolutely. So our sponsor this week is CISO. Now we've told you about CISO a couple times before, but if you aren't aware, you need to check it out. It's an on-demand streaming comedy service, anytime, anywhere, and that's SEESO, CISO. Now, if you've heard us talk about it before, or any of our familial podcasts, any of our genetically associated podcasts, it may be because my brother and me will have a television show on CISO eventually. But there's already a lot of good stuff on there. So there's a reason to check it out now.
Yeah.
They have curated it to bring you just the good stuff all in one place. And CISO is only $3.99 a month, $3.99 a month.
That's like nothing.
Exactly. And I don't know if we've mentioned this, it's ad free.
Yeah. Like no ads, no interruptions, just binge all of those shows you want to binge.
And they've got all kinds of great original content, stuff that you've never seen before, like Harmon Quest and Take My Wife and Hidden America with Jonah Ray, in addition to a lot of shows you may have seen before or you may wished you had seen before and never got around to watching, and now it's time to check them all out. So things like Parks and Rec, Saved by the Bell, 30 Rock. They have British comedies like The It Crowd, Faulty Towers. They have stand-up comedy specials, Monty Python, everything.
All of it.
All the good stuff, all the funny stuff, all in one place. And right now, you can start your 1 month free trial.
What?
That's absolutely right. So go to seeso.com, that's SEESO.com, and start your 1 month free trial today.
So back to 16th birthdays. I heard you all talking and discussing before we started about a TV show I had never heard of before.
My Super Sweet 16.
Yes.
Sweet 16. That was the music. I didn't just write that. That's not
I was going to
not my
compliment you on
original.
that, but now I can't.
Taylor, do you want to describe to Riley, this was a television show that used to exist on MTV. Do you want to describe to her the beauty that was My Super Sweet 16?
Basically, it was a reality show where you'd follow around one very affluent, soon-to-be 16-year-old as they planned their mega awesome 16th birthday party. And there's like a lot of things that happen in every episode. Like they always like had a fit over things not going the way they wanted, even though their parties included like cars and renting out entire museums and like all of this. Like there's always a lot of drama over everything not going the way they wanted to. There's always a big like drama over the outfit they were gonna wear. Like it was just sort of like spoiled rich kids getting everything they want and not being happy with it. I don't know where the entertainment factor actually came in, but I do know once you started watching, you could not stop.
I think it was twofold. One, there were things that you could do with money that I would never have thought to do.
Like what?
Like aspects to the parties. I mean, it's one thing to like, I'm going to get a really expensive dress. Tiaras were a common theme.
I'm good
Right.
at tiaras.
I'm going to tiara. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, oh, it's my birthday. It's time for a tiara.
Do you think tomorrow for school I should wear a tiara?
No.
Now that we're on the subject.
I mean, I vote no.
Taylor?
I second the vote of no.
Now, unless that's your thing, unless you just love tiaras and you want it to, much like Princess Amber from Sophia the First, if tiaras are your thing.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about, but I do know I don't own any tiaras. I don't like them, but I want everyone to know it's my birthday.
Maybe
continue your discussion of my super sweet 16. We'll come back to this discussion later.
Okay.
Maybe it'll change your mind.
I don't know.
You'll make a decision.
Yeah, I'm not sure if high school has changed, but I was pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that the point of high school was to never ever have anybody ever notice you ever. Right? So that seems like something people might notice.
It is something people didn't notice, but then they come up like, what's up with your tiara? It's my birthday. Tell me happy birthday. And then everyone tells you happy birthday.
It's I don't know if that's the kind of attention. I mean, like, not that birthday attention is bad attention, but if it's like
any attention is bad attention in high school. Any attention is bad attention in high school.
I think you just have to be prepared for whatever comes with it, really.
Banner.
Just ruminate on it a little bit over there, okay? Just let it marinate inside.
Oh, I got it. Bring cupcakes. Because you're gonna bring focus to the fact that it's your birthday, but then also people get cupcakes out of it. So then people will like you. Exactly. That's how you do that. That's how you get people to like you. You give them cupcakes.
All right, sorry. Continue your discussion
about my super sweet
16.
I bring fudge to work a lot for that reason.
I want to know more about this show. I just needed to ask you about my tiara wearing.
Kids were getting things like I remember sometimes kids would get like a Rolex. And it would just never have occurred to me at 16. That's a nice watch. Riley, you looked at me very cluelessly.
I am aware.
Okay. Like to have asked for like a super nice watch when I was 16. Obviously, they get cars. And then usually they cry because it's like the wrong color or it wasn't the exact one they wanted. Or like in one episode, their mom gave it to them at the wrong moment.
Yep.
They didn't want it at the party. They wanted it later.
Like it happens.
Why would you not want your car at the party?
It happens so often that the producers must have been going to the parents like, you gotta get it the wrong color. You got to. It's good TV. You got to do it.
Please.
Like, cause these parents can't be this dumb that it happens every episode.
I also always like a lot of the episodes would have someone who was not only wealthy but would have ties to the music industry somehow. And so they would start the episode off by talking about whatever famous current, like, pop star, whoever they definitely knew they could get. Definitely. Right. So-and-so can do my party because dad said that he could and whatever. And it usually got smaller and smaller as time went on to like somebody who I guess they were on a song once or something and they had time. They said they could come and do a set or something. I mean, like it got because it's still a 16-year-old birthday party.
It's not that big of a deal.
It was rarely somebody that you were like, oh my gosh, can you believe it? It was usually me going, who? Is everyone excited about that? The kids seem excited because you imagine if you're at that party and that person comes out, you probably act like you're excited because you don't want to look uncool.
Oh my God, I don't know who this is, but this is a record. Like that?
Yeah.
I just don't know
That's
what.
pretty much how it sounded.
I mean, I will never. I am a 30-year-old woman, and I've never been in a world where any of that is possible. I don't know what that just like blows it at your 16th birthday party when your expectations for what things should be are already that high. How I guess you just don't come down. I guess that's just a stratosphere of people that I just don't interact with. I don't know.
Well, and I just don't know why they were thinking about like at 16. It never would have occurred to me to think about like what do the flowers look like? What about the table decorations? What is the chandelier? What
sounds like you're planning your wedding.
What it does.
That's a synthesis. You get like the Sweet 16 kids that grow into the Bridezillas for that other reality TV show, I guess.
Exactly. And they usually had like costume changes, like this is the dress I'll wear initially, and then there's like the dance dress.
And it's my party dress.
Yeah. Multiple shoes.
And they always get like carried in by like a bunch of hot people, like on a throne or something. Like that happened kind of always.
Yeah, I remember them like auditioning dudes, like come in and take your shirt off and prance around and let me see if you look like somebody who can carry me in on a big golden litter for my for my 16th birthday.
I think
that's all I want, before I die, at some point, can I be carried in on a big golden litter by a bunch of attractive people? Just sometime. I want that. I don't care about the Rolexes or the cars or the B-level celebrities to sing at my birthday parties. I just want to be carried.
Taylor, we will do everything we can to leverage our podcast fame to get you carried on a golden litter at some point in your life.
My only experience with this show was right before we started, we were doing a test recording on this, and Taylor was watching clips from it, and all Taylor said was, just look up my Super Sweet 16 freak out. You can find some clips. And Sydney looked it up, and the first one that came up was this girl wearing, again, a very large tiara, and goes out and sees a Lexus, except like a sedan type Lexus. That was very nice.
Yeah, it was.
Very
well, it was just a
nice.
bigger SUV, than yours, wasn't it?
Smaller.
I thought it was bigger than. I don't know.
No,
I'm
I
not
mean
paying
like
close
the shape
What's a
of it was
Lexus?
more sedan shape instead of like an SUV shape. Anyways,
a Lexus
it was
is a fancy car.
Yeah, it was a very
know.
nice.
I have
it
a
was a very nice
bicycle.
Lexus. It was a very nice Lexus, and she walks out and sees it, and they're like, "Look, it's yours. It's your car." And the first thing she says is, "What? You ruined my life."
There was always lots of that. You've ruined my life. You've ruined my party. Their party gets ruined at least 80 times.
But then it always ends up pretty cool, right?
Oh, they're always happy at the end.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, because everybody says, this was the best party ever. And there was that competition, too. Sometimes they would do episodes with, like, rivals. Like, here's an episode with this girl's party, and then there's an episode with this girl's party, and whose party was bigger?
Both of them were just too big.
Both of them are ridiculous.
That's the answer. Neither. Both.
I never got anything like that for my 16th birthday party.
What was yours like?
And nobody scared me, so...
What was yours like, Sid?
Mine happened. First of all, the location I think is important. It was at the YWCA.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that was a pretty cool venue. That's where all the cool like punk shows happen in Huntington, West Virginia.
That is true. All the cool punk shows were at either the YWCA or the Junior League.
That's right. Yeah.
But it was at the YWCA. I just remember because it was in that location, it was very, like, my memories of it are all very bright and fluorescent lit. It was a very white room with folding tables and lots of fluorescent lighting. And I do remember that my then boyfriend, which is different than the one from the other story.
So many boyfriends.
I know. Made a cake, and there were donuts involved in the cake. I remember the cake being good. There was like a donut cake. It was yummy. And then I remember that. And then I remember that Mom put him completely in charge of inviting people. And so he only invited his friends, and so there were only 10 people there. Which is, I have just described to you the saddest 16th birthday ever, because it is in the YWCA, which was, not a huge room, but big enough that 10 people around a donut cake.
You feel the absence.
Gets really sad. And I don't think I had any sort of freak out or meltdown Sweet 16 style, but I do remember crying afterwards. Yeah, and feeling very like, this is supposed to be the most special day of my life.
Of your life?
Well, you know.
It's all downhill from here. Good luck, Riley.
When I know you feel that way sometimes, Riley, because you're you're almost 16. There are things that happen to you that feel like the biggest deal in your life.
Mostly to me, the things that feel the most important, which I'm sure is not true for all my friends, but when I'm like in class and the teacher's like, test next Friday, and I'm like, or I have an essay due the next day and I'm up until 2 a.m. writing it. Like those are the most important things for me right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously those are important to me too. But when things like that happen, it feels like it's a defining moment for some reason you're going to look back on that as something that reverberates throughout the pool of your life. You have ripple effects forever, and that's not true.
I think that there are always these, and it's something that is built into us probably by media, by the movies we watch, and sort of the idea behind them. That there are these landmarks in your life that you will change, something important will happen, and you will become closer to what you want to be through it. And it's your 16th birthday, prom, your 18th birthday, like all of these sort of things that every time you're like, nah, it's still me though. I'm super just basically exactly still me. And that's not a bad thing, but just, like the stuff that feels like, wait, if I just, this 24 hours, I will wake up and be the person that I am to become, or this event's going to happen that's going to change things. I don't think there are actually those events in life.
I think you're exactly right. I think it feels like 16 feels like this huge signpost that like you're gonna wake up that morning and all will be clear. And for me, it was always like I'll finally be like cooler, and I thought I would look better.
Yeah,
and people would notice me more, and things that not only aren't. I mean, it doesn't happen magically when you turn 16, but I also realize we're not that important. Now that I'm older, I can look back and go like, well, those, even if they had happened, what was the big deal? I mean, it's like Riley, you mentioned it earlier when you were quoting 16 Candles.
Oh, the quote that I have saved ever since I watched 16 Candles when it first got put on Netflix like 2 months ago. And I got a quote from it towards the very beginning of the movie and thought, this will be good to tweet on my 16th birthday. Let me go put this in my drafts real quick so I don't forget it. So it's been sitting in my drafts for 2 months, and I'm very close to being able to tweet it. And it's chronologically today you're 16, but physically you're still 15. And she looks in the mirror as she's getting herself ready for school, and that's how that that's where that comes from.
Well, and I mean it's not that like the physical part of it too. It's you look back and it's like, who cares? Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me to now, Sydney, but past Sydney, it really did matter too. Like waking up and not looking different, not feeling different. My acne had not magically vanished.
The big thing,
I thought 16 that would happen. My cup size was still small.
The thing for me is driving. And for like 2 weeks, I've been like, Tuesday morning, I can wake up and I can go to school. And then once I'm done at like noon, I can go to the DMV, get my license. And then Wednesday, I'll be able to drive to school. So every Wednesday, I would be like, a week from now, I'll be driving to school. 2 weeks from now, I'll be driving to school. And then I realized, in all this excitement for being able to drive to school, I forgot to do something very essential in driving to school. 2 things, really. One was turn in my form for my proof of enrollment, which is a necessary form you need when you are applying for your license or permit if you're still in high school. And I forgot to apply for it at school. It takes a week to get it. So I applied for it last Wednesday, and I won't get it until this Friday because they only hand them out on Fridays.
Aww.
So,
and we will be
that
next
happened.
FunCon.
Yeah, which is awesome. But I also forgot to learn how to parallel park, and that's like half the test.
Yeah, that's
I've never done that before. So
you should not take it until you practice that.
Yeah.
I am planning on taking it next Tuesday. So we will see how that goes.
That was, and I don't want to talk too much about parallel parking because I know we're gonna talk about driving after you've taken your test.
Right.
But that parallel parking was definitely, I had to retake my driver's test recently, and I had to like relearn that all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the big thing for me is being able to drive because mainly most of my friends have been driving for months because I'm the youngest one of all my friends. As my birthday is early in the school year. It was right on the cutoff date. I think we've talked about this before. It's right on the cutoff date. So, like, most of my friends are turning 17 this school year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just turned 16. But they've been driving for a while, and my parents still have to drive me everywhere, which is great. I mean, I don't have a problem with them driving me everywhere. But it's also, like, my parents aren't at home right now, and all my friends are hanging out together. If I could drive myself there. That kind of thing. So, that's mainly what I'm excited about.
Is that, do you think, so like 16 has this, like we've talked about, like talismanic place in like the, I don't know, the teen experience, like you turned 16 and it's an important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's changed? I mean, Taylor, did you feel like that was, because I know you didn't drive when you turned 16.
Nope.
No, you put that off as long as you could.
I kind of failed on that, and now I can't drive all over again because I live in New York City and I let my license expire.
Did you get a car when you turned 16, or did you?
No, I got a car when I turned 18, actually. And it was just one of the cars we had. They was like, you can drive this now. I'm like, cool.
Because, I do remember I got a car when I turned 16, but I was also like, I went and got my license the day after I turned 16. I was very much right on, I want to drive. And that's when I got my beloved purple neon. But do you remember 16 being a big deal for you then, Tay? Because if you weren't, for me, it was about driving. 16 was a big deal for two reasons. One, drive, not job. I had no desire to have a job.
Yeah.
I still, if I didn't love what I do, it was that the concept of job is not appealing to me. But I didn't want to have a job. I wanted to drive. And then two, just that like society and movies and TV and culture told me, 16 is a big deal. When DJ Tanner turned 16, it was a huge deal.
Right.
She got that Firebird from Uncle Joey.
Is that not the birthday party they were celebrating in Fuller House? Remember, wasn't it one of the little daughter's birthdays? Or am I thinking of something
Were
different?
they celebrating her 16th?
Was it her 16th or was it like her 13th?
No, I don't think it was her 16th.
Oh, never mind. I thought there was a connection there that I could understand you with, but there's not.
I don't remember.
For me, I just think I was a creature of different media. So for me, turning 16 was like bummer because, well, if you're going to be a Sailor Scout, you've got to be 14. So I messed that up. And then if you're going to fall into a book and get transported to ancient China, a la Fushigi Yugi, you've got to be 15. So I messed that up. So what's 16? I think I'm like on, like you get too old and then you're just villain territory. So it was all depressing for me.
So 16 was not a big, important one for you.
I'll never be a magical girl.
I know. I understand. We all read Harry Potter after we turned 11, and so, it was way too late to go to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I'm kidding on my late acceptance letter. I think they send those out. Like, we just realized you're so talented and you're so powerful. We need you at our school. We know it's late, but you'll be fine.
Just keep your fingers crossed.
I am.
But do you think, Riley, 16 is still, other than driving, does it hold that kind of cultural significance? Because we've made movies about it. There are songs about it. The idea that 16, when someone says I'm turning 16, the usual response is, oh, sweet 16. Oh, it's, it's a big birthday. That's a big deal. That sounds creepy when I say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet 16. Yuck.
Yuck.
So is it still, like, do all your friends feel that way? Like, 16 is coming. That's a big deal.
All my friends are already 16, so I wasn't around when they were going through it. But for me,
do you think it's a thing?
Other than driving, I don't know. For some reason, it feels like it's more, when you say you're 15, I feel like you still, I guess maybe it still has to do with that connection to driving, but maybe it's just because for some reason, like, 13, 14, 15 is the first 3 years of being a teen, and you're still kind of in, like, I don't want to say younger teen years, but I guess you are. And then when you're 16, 17, 18 is when you're, like, getting a car, graduating from high school, going into college, becoming an adult, all that kind of stuff. So maybe it's just when you're 16, you're entering, like, this final leg of your,
like, the second
young
half
adulthood.
Of teendom or something.
Yeah, when you're kind of, they're like, oh, well, you're getting ready to, enter this last part of your childhood, and then you're an adult. There's that.
That was sad.
It's true. 2 years from now, you'll technically be an adult.
Yeah.
I think it's also, it's looking, like, hearing you say that, my response is like, oh, that's a sad thing to think about or to say, or why would you be thinking about turning 18 or being an adult?
Because I'm so ready to be done with high school.
I see, and I think that's a big difference. And Tay, I don't know where you fall on this now, but I am constantly wanting time to move slow down. I don't want to go back. I love my life. I don't want to go back and relive things. I don't have glory days that I wish I could go through again. I don't know. I assume those are happening. I assume those are now because I if they happened at some point in my life, I don't particularly want to go relive anything. Not that it was bad. I like where I am now. I like everything that happened got me here, so it must have been fine. but I want like days to go slower, time to tick by slower. I can't believe when weeks end, when months end, when I look and go, oh my gosh, are we on the back half of 2016? How did this happen? And I think that's such a huge split from when you're a kid and you just can't wait for that next, when I'm 16 this, when I'm 17 this, when I'm 18 this. And right now I'm just thinking 33 is fine.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. You get caught up in the signposts and like, but man, just wait until I'm 18. But man, just wait till I'm 21. And then like, I think after that, there's this weird kind of like gray period up to 30. And you go, and it's over. It's not actually over, but it's the last one that someone's like, yeah. It's like, 30. Good luck.
No, because you can be president when you're 35.
That's the landmark everyone thinks about.
Everyone's working towards that.
Am I the only one who thinks about that?
Are you waiting for that, Sid?
No, like I said, I don't want to rush anything, but it's just, it'll be a reason to celebrate 35.
I could be president of the United States.
I could, were I good at that, all that job would entail, I could do that.
Yeah, I think I've already made decisions that would not allow me to be president of the United States at any time in my life, and I think I'm okay with those decisions.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I did a podcast called Losing the Sheen at one point in my life, so I pretty much can't ever be president.
my degree is in cartoons. Nope, never going to happen.
That's okay. We can all come to terms with that.
One thing that we were talking about my Sweet 16 earlier, my Super Sweet 16. I just recently discovered this. There is a series of scary movies based off of that TV show that MTV produced called, I believe it's my Super Psycho 16. That seems like everybody should definitely watch these movies.
And with that, I need to leave to go watch all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, fall is coming. I've already started looking for what scary movies. Justin and I watch scary movies like the entire month of October.
Guys, it's Halloween time right now. You realize that, right?
I already bought 2 Halloween costumes.
I've been...
Boy, you guys are all over.
Mom got me some for my birthday, an early birthday present. She got me like car center things for my car because it had a very specific smell to it that I associate with my family. What? That's very vague.
Let's stop there.
Yeah.
Let's just end it there.
What?
Yeah. But
you know how. I mean,
I got this car from my grandfather, and my grandfather's house smells not bad. I'm not saying it smells bad.
Oh boy.
It's just a very specific smell of his house and his car. And Sydney got in it. The first thing she said is, I knew exactly how this was going to smell. Because it's true. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
No, it's not a bad smell.
It's not a bad smell at all.
It's
very
actually
pleasant.
nice. Part of it is like the leather and the like it's a very clean, well-preserved car.
Yeah.
That is part of it. And you do not expect a car that's been around that long to smell like that.
Right.
That's part of it.
But anyways, Mom just got me some scents to hang in my my rearview mirror, and they are all fall scents. I got autumn leaves and wreaths and pumpkins.
Well, I mean, I drank pumpkin beer this weekend, so
We just
I'm
put
already looking at decorations for my room.
we just put Southern Tier Pumpkin on draft at my bar, and I'm so much more drunk than I should be suddenly out of nowhere.
That's what I had this weekend. I know you got to be careful with that one. It's not like most pumpkin beers. You're like
light color, even better. And we don't get any money from Southern Tier, but their Warlock, which is like a pumpkin stout, is amazing. And it's Warlock beer.
we will do our best the entire month of October not to only talk about Halloween.
I'd like to talk about an internet
I think
post
we
real
should do
quick.
the opposite.
That's my favorite, and it's this little animated ghost, 8-bit animated ghost that's spinning around in a circle, and and it's like the beginning of it is 2 months till Halloween, and he's like spinning in a very slow circle with his hands up by his face, going oh, like a mouth open like a ghost. You're like oh, and then the next one is 1 month till Halloween, is spin a little bit faster, and the next one is it's the month of Halloween. And then it's the week of Halloween, and it gets faster every time. And then it's Halloween, and this little ghost guy is spinning around, jumping all over the page.
This reminds me of 8 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Oh,
8 more days
no.
till Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in forever.
Was that Halloween 3?
That's from Halloween 3, The Lost Halloween.
Well, the original concept for Halloween was we would do a different like Halloween-themed movie every year, and then they created Michael Myers first, and then decided to try to go back to the original concept with the third one and do a whole other weird thing, which there's masks, they eat people's faces, I don't really know. And then they're like, that was a bad idea. Go back to Michael Myers.
It's beautiful and terrible. Well, Riley, do you have... I know... Have you blown out the candles on your cake? Have you already done that?
No.
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay, well then you have...
Because that's reserved for when I am sitting with a dreamy boy and he has made me this cake and put candles in it. We're sitting on either side of it looking at each other, and then I blow out the
Riley,
candles.
you don't need that. Make your own cake.
Yeah. I'm just talking about 16 candles.
You be your own dreamy boy.
I'm just talking about 16 candles.
Date yourself.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm talking about 16 candles.
Just forget this.
You don't need somebody else to kiss you. Kiss yourself. Wait. I don't know. We're trying to empower you, and we're bad at it.
I'm just talking about 16 candles. I really like that movie.
My point is, you haven't blown out the candles yet. Do you have a wish?
I can't tell you.
Oh, so because it won't come true.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, you've still got a little bit of time to think about it.
Sydney,
Make sure that it's perfect.
Do you remember your 16-year-old wish?
Oh, I'm sure it was something about boys. About a boy liking me. That was all my. I was a little boy crazy back in the day.
Mine was too, but it was probably about Tuxedo Mask. Let's be real.
I'm sure that's what. Yeah. Yeah. It was about boys and mooching. I hope your wish is better than that.
Ew.
Taylor, is that so? You think yours was about Tuxedo Mask?
Probably.
Yeah. Before we go this week, before we let Riley go enjoy the last of her 15-year-old year, the last of the first half of her teens, which is in the last third of her childhood, or whatever whatever we determined was happening, the signpost. We have something else we need to tell you about this week.
We do.
Yes, we do. And that is that Still Buffering tribe member and loyal Smackelroy podcast listener. I really like that. Smackelroy over Mackle Small.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. Smackelroy. Allison Greiner has entered herself into a contest to try to publish her fantasy novel.
Ooh.
Yes. And the top 3 entries with the most pre-orders will win and have their stories published. So, if you like adventures full of pirates, magic, and amazing treasure...
I like those things.
I do too. It sounds a little like The Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm.
Storm Song is the book for you. You can read sample chapters and pre-order at bit.ly/Storm Song. So please check this book out, Storm Song. Go to that. Again, let me give you that address, bit.ly/Storm Song. So not only because this sounds like a great book, but also because you can help a member of the Still Buffering tribe publish a new fantasy novel. If you do that, put some more art out in the world that way.
Yeah. And I would like to add, they wrote a very, very cute song for me to sing because I have been asking for someone to write me a song to sing. They wrote me a song to sing and gave me a tune to play on my ukulele. And I have had so much AP homework lately that I started to learn it, then remembered I had AP homework to do, and then spent, not kidding, the next 3 days just doing different kinds of AP homework for all of my classes. So I want to apologize for the board game thing too, because that is also due to AP homework because it takes up so many hours. But that, once I get the full version of a video editing software that I will hopefully purchase for myself for my own birthday present, I will be able to edit the board game video and put that out and record myself playing the song that they wrote for that Jumbotron.
There's a lovely song that goes along with that Jumbotron about the book Storm Song. Riley will be recording it, putting it on her YouTube channel, so you can check that out.
Yes, and that will definitely, I promise, be up by next Tuesday. It has just been a very stressful week.
And I want to give a thank you to the boys over at New to You Podcast. I'll be guesting on their show for the next couple of weeks. It's a really good podcast. Yeah. Just, covers all areas of pop culture. We're having to talk about anime for the next couple of weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So super fun. You can find it at newtoyoupodcast.com. It's also available on iTunes. So thank you guys for having me along with you. And everyone should check out the show.
That's so cool.
Check that out. I know we have a lot of anime fans in our fandom.
Yeah,
so.
in our midst.
Excellent.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, as always, sisters, for joining me this week. Thank you, Riley, for turning 16 because it gave us something to talk about.
You're welcome.
Good job.
I'm allowed to be sassy
You
when
did
I'm
it.
16.
Oh, no.
Yay.
This is the last time you'll hear from me when I'm 15. Next time I'll be all sassy and 16.
Sassy 16 coming your way starting tomorrow. Thank you to the Maximum Fun Network of podcasts for allowing us to be a member, MaximumFun.org. Check out all of the wonderful shows other than ours that you would enjoy listening to. Thank you to everybody who listens to our show. Thank you to all the members of our Still Buffering Facebook page. Please check that out. If you're not on it, please join our group. It is over 6,000 strong, and there are so many amazing people. So please.
And so many splinter groups to join.
Yes, come check that out. You can tweet at us at StillBuff. You can email us if you have any thoughts or suggestions for topics, things you want to hear on the show.
If you want to purchase a Jumbotron like the one you just heard us talking about, you can go to MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron, and you can buy one for our show. We'll talk about whatever you want us to.
Absolutely. And if you do want to email us, stillbuffering@MaximumFun.org as well.
Yes.
So check those out. If you like our show, it always helps us out a lot if you rate and review us on iTunes. So if you do like our show, please do that. And it also helps us out a lot if you share our show with your friends.
Yeah, that'd be a very good birthday gift from you to me.
Yes, for Riley's birthday, tell somebody.
Yeah.
If you think they might like our show, which really is anybody who is or ever has been a teen. That's a lot of people.
That's pretty much everyone.
And thank you to the Novellas for our theme song, Baby Change Your Mind.
Yeah. So this has been Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smirl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smirl.
I am a teenager.
And I was too.
Mugs, shirts, stickers, patches, tanks, and more are yours for the purchasing at MaxFunStore.com. Hey, you already love the podcasts, so why not take this to the next level and outfit your home and bod with our merch? MaxFunStore.com, because if you have to wear a shirt, it should be one of ours.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.